I've seen a lot of people dive into the world of launch monitors and end up with a cheap gadget that looks slick on the box, but barely registers a swing before it glitches or gives wildly inaccurate numbers. The regret is real. Those low-budget units promise real-time data and then leave you with a handful of numbers that don't even match what you feel on the course. That's why I wanted to see if the iMini from Uneekor actually feels like a smarter purchase instead of another disappointment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The first hesitation most buyers have is the fear of splurging on a piece of tech that either won't survive an outdoor session or will be so clunky you'll never use it. When you're looking at a launch monitor, you're balancing three things: accuracy, portability, and the ecosystem that lets you actually make sense of the data. The iMini claims to hit all three, and it's worth digging into how it lives up to that promise before you click Add to Cart. Launch monitors sit in a sweet spot between a smartphone app that uses your phone's camera and the high-end studio rigs that cost tens of thousands. In the middle tier, you usually find devices that can track ball speed, launch angle, spin, and a few other metrics, but they often sacrifice display readability or battery life to keep costs down. What most reviewers and forum threads point out is that the real differentiator is latency, how quickly the numbers appear after you swing. If there's a lag, you can't trust the feedback for swing adjustments. The iMini advertises near zero latency and a built-in ink display that stays crisp even in bright sunlight, which directly addresses two of the most common complaints in this category. So, who should seriously consider this little box? If you're an amateur golfer who practices several times a week, have a garage or a small backyard, and want to see real-time swing data without hauling a laptop around, this could be a perfect match. It also makes sense for traveling players who stay at hotels and want to bring a portable practice tool that doesn't need a power outlet for hours. On the flip side, if you're a touring professional or a coach who needs high-speed, multi-camera analysis with advanced metrics like club path visualizations, you'll probably outgrow the iMini quickly. Similarly, if you're only looking for a $100-ish gadget to get a vague idea of distance, you could probably settle for a smartphone app and save a lot of cash. Setting it up in a real-world environment is surprisingly painless. I placed the unit on a low-profile stand in my garage, pointed it at the net, and the ink screen lit up with ball speed, launch angle, carry distance, and spin rate the instant the ball left the club face. Because it's an ink panel, the numbers stay legible even when the sun is beating down on a patio, which is something I've struggled with on other monitors that rely on LCD screens. Battery life is another practical win. A full charge gives me about 8 hours of continuous use, so a single charging session covers a full day of practice or a weekend tournament practice session without having to scramble for an outlet. The strengths become clearer when you start using the included View software. The program records each swing, lets you replay the shot instantly, and overlays the 19 metrics in a clean visual layout. I paired it with a small tablet for the simulation portion, and the 3 months of Refine Plus access unlocked a handful of virtual courses that felt surprisingly immersive for a portable setup. Compatibility with GSPro, TGC19, and even iPad apps means you can plug the data into the ecosystem you already trust, rather than being locked into a proprietary system. Those integration options are a huge plus for anyone who already uses a favorite swing analysis app. No product is without its trade-offs. The iMini, while offering a solid suite of metrics, still falls short of the deep data sets you get from premium launch monitors that track club head speed, face angle, and provide multi-camera video stitching. If you need that level of granularity, you'll eventually have to upgrade. The unit also relies on a separate device, usually a tablet or laptop, to run the full simulation suite. The built-in display is great for quick reads, but isn't a replacement for a larger screen if you want to explore course layouts in detail. Finally, the battery, though respectable, does mean you need to plan charging around long weekend outings if you intend to practice for more than 8 hours straight. A concrete use case helped me decide whether the iMini is worth the price. I set up a shore game station in my living room, using a foam mat and a net, and recorded a series of wedges and chips. The monitor instantly displayed carry distance and spin, letting me tweak my club face and see the effect on the next shot within seconds. Over a 2-hour session, I logged enough data to notice a pattern. My spin.